Hello guys, I'm the Tux Jaguar and welcome back to my single player survival world. As you can see, we are on top of our AFK spot and I have a few things to share when it comes to our witch farm, which we built last time. As you can see with the beautiful crimson wood, I have added an etho hopper clock. And the way it works is, I just move back and forth, it moves a redstone, and when it's aligned with this little redstone tower, it goes up, and each of the signal travels over, connects to the line to activate the water trapdoors. And now we can see how this lovely things works. We can see the witches, they spawned, and the clock flipped over, and they got pushed forward with the water, and now they've fallen into the pit, into the minecarts where they have died. And now the waters come back, trapdoors come up, and now they could spawn again for the same amount of time. This works very well. I did add an on-off switch as well, just to keep the water there permanently so it's not running when I'm not here. And I did notice an inconsistency. You wouldn't have seen it here, but where it feels like it only seems to spawn every other cycle. So one cycle there'll be a lot, and another, and there'll just be none, and it kind of alternates like that back and forth. I am not sure why. I'll probably testing it out, and as you can see, it's just doing it here. It is not spawning. Originally, I thought it was at first because originally it was the minecart was just here, and witches couldn't fall down instantly, and so they kind of congregate around the minecart pit and not fall, and that could last a while. Only one of them could die at a time because the hitboxes were keeping the other from falling. But to get back that, I have dropped it down 2 layers. And now we are down below underground. As you can see, I have dropped it down by 2 blocks, everything, so I tore it out and basically built it 2 blocks lower to accommodate a nice little drop pit so all the witches can just fall into one place and they won't hold each other. But that seems to have only helped slightly. As you can see, we have a decent amount of things. Didn't AFK too much with the new modifications, so we'll see how that turns out. I tried to make a kill chamber at the end. Yes. I did also bring this back 1, because that is why we're getting skeletons. It used to be, the wall used to be out here, just in front. Right here, right in front of this lily pad, but now it's been pushed back 1, so only witches spawn here and not skeletons and zombies and other things like that. And so I'm just going to continue working on this project, kind of working on it, but that hopefully is our glowstone situation sorted, and our glass bottle situation, A for villagers and B for another project we are about to undertake. And that project we'll be working on is, of course, a bee farm. Yes, this project has been kind of in the works for a while. The plan was that we were essentially going to put it in Jean Bart, the Kobe-class battleship, which is the second one we built, which has been built for quite a while, and we built in that episode accidentally deleted, and essentially I've just been busy with other things and also just too lazy to breed the bees. But I have finally done that. So we can of course get started, because I do plan on making it really big. This is just a shrunken number of what it's going to look like. Essentially you have the observer, text and update in the hive. The block is going to get powered, and actually doesn't translate the signal around, so it's a little bit more focused to make sure it doesn't power the others. Repeater catches it, powers here, unpowers this block. And when the torch powers back up again, this will activate the dispenser, which right now has got shears, but we can also use water bottles, which will then get dropped down here. The hopper minecart moves back and forth, and if it's got an object to pick up, it'll just stop where it is. And that's essentially how this farm works. So we're going to get out of the redstone testing world and back into the survival world. So we're down here inside our lovely battleship. And let me just set down the shulker boxes we're going to need for this project. And I think we've got most of these shulker boxes are taken up buy hives. Here's actually all our construction materials, or most of them. I actually need powered rails. That's what we're missing. And if you'll notice, there is 2 stacks of everything, because that's right, we're going to make 2 lines that are each 64 blocks long. One side is going to be making our honeycomb, the other side is going to be making our honey bottles. And of course we got 4 and a little bit shulker boxes of beehives. So I think I'm going to start off by laying some rails down. So I have now completed placing all of the tracks. As you can see, it goes 2 lines. One line here is going to be a honeycomb, here's going to be our honey bottles to make honey blocks. And now it's actually the fun bit, is we have to place all of the hives with the blocks. Now thankfully, as I know, I've placed these in line. Basically all the power rails are where, are where the blocks are gonna go. Now I realize I forgot to mention how this works, which is basically the unloading station for all of this. What's gonna happen is a minecart's gonna come up here, which has picked up all the stuff, and if it's got things to drop off, it's going to drop them off into the hopper. The comparator will read that signal, which will power this block, unpower the torch, which unpowers this block, which will unpower the rail, which will stop the cart. Fairly simple system, works out quite well, and then it'll power up again once the hopper is empty of stuff. Yeah, but we'll get back to building the farms, and I'll just build them in their entirety. I have finished building the base of the farm, and right now we need to go quickly. I forgot some glass. Go quickly because it's currently night, so this is the best time possible to get our bees in. And the reason we're doing this at night is essentially because the bees won't escape, so we need to try and get as much of this done as possible. And that's the first line done, so now all that's left to do, primarily, and now we just gotta get this plopped in, this glass, to seal them away, so they can't escape. And when day comes, then this will be operational, and then the next night we're gonna do the other side. All of the bees are now in, it is daytime, and you can see them all clapping and buzzing very happily. So now there's the bit of the farm complete, but now we have to complete the loading system, which we're just going to have a rail run back and forth along the top with a hopper minecart, and we'll put a chest at the end where we could put honey bottles and shears, which we got honey bottles more or less sorted out between the glass villagers and the witch farm. For the honeycombs, we're going to be using shears, which is going to take us some time to load up 9 stacks of shears. And of course, we also are going to give them all the Unbreaking 3 enchant, just so they can give that a little bit of extra time lasting. So we now have a good bit of supplies. As you can see, we have about enough shears to fill each dispenser, and then we got almost 2 shulker boxes of glass bottles. Should go nowhere near in terms of filling the actual thing, but I thought it'd be important to at least get some manually started. We're probably going to put start with a stacked bottle in each dispenser, and then we're going to pop a rail in each one, which is very annoying because now I can't access it. And I have set the rails. Well, I'm going to tear it in, and then we will throw in the first full activation of the system after I, tear out all my handiwork. So the farm is now complete. I have loaded a stack of bottles into each dispenser, and I've loaded 1 Unbreaking 3 here into each dispenser, and I put some of the excess up in here. I don't think I have excess. Well, I have a couple. So now I'm gonna plop you on. Break, hold up. Why are you not rolling? Pop you there. Pop block there. Weird. Weird. That'd be a nice easy way to do it, but guess not. Oh, too low. That was very elegant. I'll need to put on a thing there, but that's fine. They kind of just go right. I gotta fix that at the end too. I've got a more elegant solution. I'll pretty apply to the other side. Just pour some torch on the glass. There we go. And then I'll just keep filling this up until basically everything is on. I've got another issue though. That is, why aren't you being detected? Okay, this is, I need to observe for a while. That makes sense. You're not triggering is fine. Why aren't? Why haven't? I'm going to add glass here at the bottom so cats can't stop it as well. Got a couple fixes we need to do. But overall, I am fairly happy. We'll observe it to make sure everything's working. It worked in the creative world. I am wondering why it's not working quite as well now. So I found out why this has not been working the way I expected, and it's because these repeaters are set to a 1 tick delay, where they're supposed to be set to a 4 tick delay. I think that's what the number is, but basically I hadn't set the repeaters correctly, which means none of this was ever gonna work. That's my mistake. I caught it while I was editing the video, and I noticed that it was, and I just had the screenshot of the cross-section on the second monitor, and I realized I messed it up because it wasn't set correctly. That's how I figured it out. Yeah. Embarrassing, but at least we kind of got it sorted out rather quickly. So we're coming to the last of the repairs. I think as I did this, I kind of realized I probably need to rethink the honey bottles, because I tested it with the shears in mind, which I haven't actually. Aren't you picking up shit? Okay, sidetracked, because I tested with shears, which means it didn't matter if it fired twice because they wouldn't do nothing to the shears if there were no honeycombs. But with honey bottles, as you can see, we're getting a good chunk of them in here, which we cannot have. Next on the docket is we need to set up the storage system. Not now, so I cut out, so I knew where I wanted to put my... I don't have enough chests. Darn. There's too many of them to make hoppers. I'll make some more. And 4. So we'll go up 4 chests with hoppers going down the back. And then here we'll have a hopper tower. We're getting more droppers. Pop you there, so it goes into the hopper and it comes down. Next, we need to set up the observers. Power block. So this is currently powered. If I set this down here, I should be able to do this. And pop you on top. You here. Then the repeater. Should power the rail, and I still need a block here. Yep, perfect. I need to get this to fire somehow, but I'm not sure how. Sorry about the coins. Observers are too slow. Need to get... It's gonna be constant. And it emptying doesn't give me an update. So I can't use that, unfortunately. Paired her out. Bloop, bloop. Peter in. Now that means if I should not put you. And Is there 10 up there? Okay, where'd you get trapped? So does this powering scheme not actually work? Oh, I see. It does work if you do it correctly. Oh, the clicking. It's working. And it's awesome. So it should now all be... Okay. Slab, but I gotta... Okay, shoots through. So if it comes in ones, it will update correctly. But if it comes in multiples, it won't. So why is it not updating like it's supposed to? Okay, I'm gonna have to take this to Redstone testing world and play with it, see what the heck is happening. So that was a quicker fix than I expected. I just removed the top dropper there, which means I didn't need an observer, which makes it work. I guess some kind of over update issue, because I remember these droppers can drop straight to inventory, so instead of hopping on top of the hopper, I could just put it directly into it, and it would work the same. Why didn't I realize at the start? I don't know, but as you can see, I dropped this whole stack in. 14. And so I'm getting stuck up here. That's fine. So now that's 1/2 sorted out. Now I just need to go ahead and build the other half. So now I've got both halves set up. They're working correctly. I've got the hoppers linked in, and they're working. I just turned off the redstone sound while working down here so I don't go nuts hearing the infinite clicking. Because yeah, let's not do that. So we need to turn our attention to the last issue, which is that our minecarts aren't loading them. And I took a little quick peek and I forgot that hopper minecarts can't load straight into rails. We're gonna have to do essentially tear out the top rails and replace them with, well, that's, now we're getting weird. That's slightly concerning. We're getting a honey bot on there, but back on track. We're just gonna set up hoppers all along the top and rails on top of that. So we're gonna need a lot more hoppers. So I have completed 1/2 of the operation. I have added hoppers the entire long of the honeycomb length, and I don't have any more enchanted shears. So this honeycombs is all set. I have torn out the honey bottle side, at least the bees while it was night and they're in shulker boxes, because I'm going to need to completely redo this. And not for honey bottles, probably using comparators. Honestly, our big project for today, complete the honey farm, is done. I still have the thing unmuted because I don't want to hear it, and if I actually hop upstairs, yeah, look, it's been doing plenty of honeycomb. Quite a lot, actually. Honey bottles too. Oh, I have some beehives. Good, these would have been missed. I really hope I didn't lose any in here. Just, this is now up into the air. There's a bit of a hole. The bridge has been hit. Hope the command crew's alive. Hello. A lot of time has now passed, and as you can obviously see, I have completely redone the honey bottle side of the farm. We have moved from an observer-based activation system to a comparator-based observation system, and if we could see the cross-section here, we can see the high has been completely moved. The dispenser's now on top instead of behind. No more observers detecting updates in the hive. And now, about halfway through filling up this entire thing with honey bottles, which has been an arduous experience once I did the math, where we need 20 1/3 shulker box, 21 1/3 shulker boxes of glass bottles to fill up everything, and not counting the hoppers, not counting the backlog. That's gonna take a while to do, but that's again something I'll take care of in between episodes. My main concern is to make sure that some of these don't run out and we start getting honey bottles inside the dispensers. But this project is now complete, apart from those little things, which means this ship is now complete. Apart from some of the little things, just little details I'll have to come back to, but overall I am rather happy with it. Now we can take a look at finishing the main ship, the flagship Richelieu, and getting the storage system completed and finalized. But that'll be for next episode, and probably the episode after that, because there's still quite a bit of work to do in here to get the storage system operational and usable. But that'll be the end of today's episode. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been the Toxic Jaguar, and goodbye.